How you doing, people? And I am Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star, host of STO, the Smokers Lounge. And I'm here to give you something to smoke over. I'm talking about Spotify for podcasters. That's right. Spotify now has it to where you can start your podcasting career. We're talking about video podcasting, and you can make money by monetizing your podcast, whether it's through donations or even setting up a subscriber side of your podcast. So go to Spotify, sign up, and start podcasting like me and make money. Take your hobby and go ahead and make it your career. Smoke this over.
This episode is brought to you by Ollie. Time to get real about the new year. Pressure-filled resolutions are out and evolutions are in. Sure, lofty wellness goals are great, but little steps count too. Think bite-sized health goals for big wins. So get better sleep for our blissful melatonin blends, or get upbeat with Hello Happy. Get in the mood with love and libido, or get moving with daily energy. Be your very best you, or just be. Ollie is here to help you do wellness goals your way. Zero pressure, just delightful gummies, soft gels, and fast dissolves. Ollie, supplements for your New Year's evolution. Learn more at ollie.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Day after my birthday. It was a good day. It was a good day. I found it feel good to know how loved you are. When you think that no one notices you or pay attention to you, and you get so many happy birthday wishes, people you didn't think they were even thinking about you, it's hitting you up. Man, it was unbelievable. I even got free lunch at work from a wonderful nurse. Cute little tall thing, too. She's actually a motherfucker. But, and I got to spend it, the night with my wife. Watch some TV. Kicked it. Lasagna for my birthday. It was a good birthday. 48 years. 48 years in this world. And looking to be here longer. So, but this episode is going to be an interesting episode for Thursday. Because I'm about to have a little discussion with you, my smokers. And conversations that I done had about the podcast, about the business of podcasting and the whole nine. But you know me, I'm a guy who is about totality, about the total thought process of it. So today on the Smokers Lounge, we're going to discuss what is my podcast? What is the Smokers Lounge? I think I need to do episodes like this every now and then to remind the people of where it came from, what it is, what I do, why I do it, even get to the reasoning of it. So, welcome to the Smokers Lounge. I'm your host, Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, a.k.a. the Porn Rap Star. You can find all my links with one link on mylinks.com/porn rap star. We have 4 wonderful sponsors to tell you about. The first one being the Facebook LS community. They have been with us the longest, lsworld.com. The second longest sponsor is one of the hottest adult mags in the game, eroticismmagazine.com. Next up, I'm a proud ambassador of, and they are a sponsor of, for you content creators, 90% profit, no hashtag issues, and for you consumers, a new place to consume your Triple X content. And I will always promote them because they are black owned. excitebunny.com. And last but not least, award-winning, award-nominated Smut with Voiceover. And they also have a virtual reality side of their website called Beaver. We're talking about blusherotica.com. Shouts out to cinematographer and wife. Also, we're a proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. So go over to shopgwdistrict.com and buy black from over 500 black-owned retailer shops and boutiques. They got a lot of nice stuff over there, trust me. And also, we also are a proud member of FullySwapRadio.com. So go over to FullySwapRadio.com 5 days a week in the morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to listen to me chop it up with adult films finest, as well as other professionals within the mix of what I do. So go over to FullySwapRadio.com and enjoy yourself. And also check out the other podcasters there. Also check me out on SkyhawkAfterDarkTV.com as well as the BGP LLC app. So recently, I had a rant that I did on Instagram last week. And the thing about the rant was that, well, I had a lot of bullshit I was dealing with, but even more so, other stuff that I was seeing and was feeling when it comes to how my fellow podcasters in the space of what I do is treated, and things that I saw, what have you. And one of the ladies I talked to asked, what is your podcast? And another lady who I reached out to, I had to ask my man to kind of vouch for me, because she had been on the show or what have you and everything. And the funny part is that she had been on 2 podcasts of 2 people that I've actually interviewed. And it made me feel like, what the fuck? I haven't gained that respectability, that what's the word I'm looking for? That cachet that if I step up, you kind of know who I am. Adding to, it's my birthday coming up. I'm turning 48. I would like to be in a better place than where I'm at. It made me feel some type of way. Yeah. Because I think about who I interviewed over the years. So I had a conversation with a friend, and she brought up very, very, very good points. So this episode, I'm about to explain to you what is STO, the Smokers Lounge. So strap in, smokers. I'm about to give it to you, hands down. Now let's begin, first of all, what is STO? STO means smoke this over. My podcast has nothing to do with weed. It just so happens that I smoke weed. I love to smoke weed. I'm about to roll up now, and eat some tacos as I record this. Because it's Saturday. I'm off, from work all weekend. So I get to enjoy it. I get to enjoy it with my wifey and all that good stuff. So, and the people that I interview are welcomed to smoke, drink, whatever. We're doing the interview. You don't have to be a smoker. It's funny that the first thing a person thinks when I say the smoke, the smokers lounge is, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, well, I'm not a smoker. You don't have to be a smoker for me to interview you. It's not like I'm interviewing you and we're at a set with a hookah. It's on Skype. Before that, I was doing it on Anchor, audio. So, no, you don't have to be a smoker to be in the Smokers Lounge. You don't have to be a smoker to be a smoke buddy. My smoke buddies are people that I bring back on a regular basis that are co-hosts or special guest hosts or special guests on the podcast on How You Want Skinny. And we discuss different topics that might range from porn to sexuality, politics, whatever the conversation leads us. Understand, originally I didn't want to interview people. It was going to be a podcast just Bob talking about whatever. The reason why I ended up even doing stuff on the adult film side of things was, one, whenever I talked about my adult film career, that's when I got the most listens. Then when I started getting interviews, I got more listens. First interview was Bonnie Blaze. Shouts out to her. You know, after that, I think it was Jada Silk. And so on and so on and so on. Well, and the thing that I'm trying to get to when I do these interviews, because understand the interviews are the Bonus Smoke Fridays and the Saturday and the Savage Smoke Saturdays. And the purpose of the interview is for you ladies to tell your story, to talk about doing adult film, your experience in it, how you run your business, how you got in it, what other parts of sex work do you do, whatever sides, other ways of you making money. Ask questions that probably some of these podcasts, to be honest, probably won't even ask you. They're not going to ask you about prepping yourself for an anal scene. Not knocking other podcasts. They probably do ask great questions, trust me. My man Thickness, he does. You know, Lily Craven, she does. You know, Coral Jewel, she does. You know what I'm saying? There's many of them that really do actually get down to it. I'm talking about even on the IG. You know, my girl Amazon Honey with Coffee Talk. Yo, man, she be on point with that shit. I need to check it out if you're on IG. If you ain't following Amazon Honey. So, even to, the point being is, even my man with Bulls and Queens, Dark Chocolate out there, you know what I'm saying, out west, what have you. You know what I'm saying? We entertain at the same token, try to inform. So, yeah, I'm going to ask you about your mental prep. I'm going to ask you about your physical prep. You know how many times I ask a female a question and she never really thought of it? I love asking those questions. I don't ask you about your family or your personal life unless you bring it up. It's about your career. Now, when I bring you back, that's when we might get into certain topics. You know, it might have something to do with BDSM, sexuality, the porn business. We discussed AI possibly being in porn, how it would influence good and bad. And what porn stars might need to do and think about moving forward when it comes to their image seriously. Shouts out to Big Cherry. So I want to show people that porn stars, for and foremost, are people. We're intelligent. We're smart. We have master's degrees. We have families. We have jobs. Some of us do work a 9 to 5. We not only chase the porn career, but we also have lives outside of it. In other words, the more they know about, the more the veil is taken off, the more they might respect it. See, y'all already became interested because of OnlyFans. Think about how many OnlyFans girls get on these podcasts and they're treated more like shock value than actually asking them about the business. Or if you want to ask someone about investing, well, then you find a female that in the OnlyFans that can discuss that. It felt like these podcasts was just basically using these females as a prop to try to show that females are dumb as shit and they just whores. So that's what my podcast is about. Now I do have a subscription base, which is called the Premium Smoke Room, which is on Spotify. Spotify has video. So right now you're listening, this is audio, but my videos, yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're mainly on Spotify. For the Smokers Lounge, the videos is on Spotify first, and then a week later will be on YouTube. But back to what I was saying about the Premium Smoke Room. The Premium Smoke Room is $4.99 a month. Now, what you get for $4.99 a month? Okay, because I know you're saying, what the fuck am I getting? Well, you're getting 5 premium podcasts, co-hosted by 3 of the podcasts is co-hosted by 3 lovely ladies. First one being Princess Havoc, Causing Havoc podcast. We basically talk. She basically talks about whatever comes to mind. Also, she discussed, for the most part, her porn business, her porn career, what's going on in her life. We touch on many topics. And she looks sexy while doing it, period. Next up is the Chronicles of a Spit Queen, hosted by my buddy, Miss Spit Queen. And what's that about? Well, like it says, Chronicles. She talks about her life. She talks about her sexual adventures. Plus, we also discuss things that might happen in the news or what have you. And she might, do a little show. She give you a little show. You don't know unless you subscribe. You feel me? But yeah. And then last but not least, the other co-host is Dirty Talk with Jordan, hosted by Big Jordan. Once again, it's me and her sit down, we just chop it up, catch up what happened during the week, and then from there we talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying? And in the Premium Smoke Room, it's a little bit more looser because ladies do show a little bit of boobage. Not anything nasty or anything, but, it's a little bit more, let's say, risque, but not too risque. You feel what I'm saying? Nothing no different you might see on Tubi. But it's worth seeing. Trust me. But it's really about the conversation. Because we talk about real shit, regardless whether tits are out or not. You feel me? Period. It's educational. And it shows you also how intelligent these ladies are. And it also allows them to have a safe space to where they're not going to be judged and they can really get out what's going on with them. I had conversations from that deserve a trigger warning to conversations that would be having you dying out laughing. Yeah, we talk about pegging a lot on my podcast, so I hope they don't make dudes squeamish. Even though it's funny how many dudes love listening to that podcast. It actually be having some of the highest views, the pegging. No bullshit. So, but yeah. And then, of course, I have the STO Dark podcast, which is just me. I talk about my life in porn, whatever I figure out I want to talk about for that episode. And, of course, the staple, the Premium Smoke podcast, every Wednesday morning, I chop it up with a lovely lady, and we talk. And like I said, she might, show a titty, might even suck on a popsicle, just to show you that, her skills, what have you. Nothing too bad. And it's really about the conversation. It's more saucier. It's a little bit more candid. Of course, all the conversations in the Premium Smoke Room is candid, and you can only watch it on Spotify. I bring females back for the Smokers Lounge and Premium Smoke Room because the subscribers love following the ladies, knowing what you up to. They like hearing what you talk about and your thoughts on things. Period. We talk about the testing, the work stoppages, and all that stuff. And the reason for it, because some of the people that are listening do not know the things that we go through as adult film stars. And the people that's trying to do this bullshit, the content creators, they might can listen to and see what we go through as adult film stars. That's the purpose of all of this. The purpose of my podcast. Because that is where I made money. It wasn't the music. Even though, yes, I made money when I did music back in the day, but nah, it didn't sustain me like porn did. Period. And it was the business that I loved dearly. They helped me feed my family and kept a roof over my head. So yes, I did it for 15 years. Dealt in it for 20. And there wasn't no podcast. There wasn't no YouTube that gave you knowledge on doing this business. There was no Spaces. None of that. You was ushered in. You was groomed in. I came in at a time where, if you want to call the content creator back then, we called them the independent, the amateur porn, or the pro-am. And as a producer, my job was to groom the ladies and also help them get their own site. Ladies then wasn't concerned about trying to do content. They was more concerned about escorting. Because a lot of girls use porn as a tool to boost their escorting and to up their prices. So they wasn't thinking about doing content. Funny how times have changed. So my job was to find them work, help them film to get the content that they need, set up a site, and make money. Key strength, find them work. Add contacts all over the place. So I've seen where this business came from and where it's at now and where it's heading. That's why I have conversations. Now, I do interview more than porn stars. I have interviewed independent movie makers. From Chris Anders, who did the Old Ways, which is on Netflix right now. The lady that was in Prey, which was the latest Predator movie that's on Hulu. The Indian girl, she, Native American lady that was in there, she was in the Old Ways. Very, very good movie. I interviewed him. I have interviewed two of the people from Tubi. I've interviewed a guy that is involved in the gaming world. I interviewed sex therapists. I interviewed male film dom, transgender. Yes, come. My podcast is your safe space. Any professional. I didn't interview one of my first interviews was of a girl that was an influencer. She don't even show tits and ass. Period. Discussing Dubai and the whole nine. The thing about my podcast is everything that we talk about is something that you can take from it. It's something that can help you in what you're doing. Not everything, but something. See, for example, you think about Tubi, right? And you hear T Million and you hear Beasley. And they talking about the filming, how they go through the processes of finding their people and locations and all that. This is no different than what the fuck we do in porn. Gaming. You know how many females right now in porn have a Twitch? You get what I'm saying? My thing is to bring knowledge. I didn't have other podcasters on here. You know, I love talking to other podcasters. Love being a guest on other podcasts because I just still got to remind myself that I'm not a host in that moment, you know. Kind of hard to switch it off. But the point I'm trying to make is that the Smokers Lounge, to me, is I want people to think. I want to leave you with conversation. See, I would love for people to actually rate the podcast and comment. You know, tell me what you think of the episode. If you disagree with something, I would love to hear it. Let's have that debate or what have you. I would love to have an episode where some of the fans send a question and we answer it on air. You know, this podcast, to me, I want it to be a platform that a person can come on and get their shit off. Because me coming from the rap game, our only way was the radio. So if you couldn't get on the fucking radio, you was shot. So now you got podcasts. And what's funny is podcasts, if there's any indication how much podcasts are right now being paid attention to when it comes to the porn business, AVN made a category for it. So many porn stars are now talking about doing podcasts. So the business is about to get flooded, but it's in a good way because the porn stars got sick and tired of seeing the content creators doing shit that was fucking up our business. The changes in the business. Yes, we discussed the testing. We discussed the swabbing. I talk about and discuss what happens at the AVNs and the Exoticas and the whole nine. You know, period. But yeah, we talk about other shit too. Yeah, you know, this shit, actually. May 4th is coming up. May the 4th be with you. I'm doing an episode about Star Wars. I'm looking for a co-host for that shit. But if not, there will be an episode dropping discussing things. But the point I'm trying to make is that the Smokers Lounge podcast is a platform for anyone who wants to use it. No, I do not pay any of my co-hosts. I do not pay any of the guests that come on. I just don't. It's nothing personal, but it at the end of the freaking day, I know. You come on it because you want to be on it. You come on it because you enjoy the conversation. And I hope that you enjoy it so much the first go around that you come back. I love bringing people back. Because the conversations are so fucking wonderful. And plus also following you on your journey. And also now you have a place where you can tell your story. The only thing I just ask is shit. Just like, because I hear the girls sit here and say all the time, oh, the guys, he don't tag me in the video. He don't do this. He don't do that. You have people that you sitting here on a podcast and you don't even tweet that you was on it. Nor do you have a link to the podcast. You don't think that your fans who done spent all this damn money wouldn't want to go to that podcast and listen to your fucking interview. It doesn't matter how many podcasts you was on. Actuality, the more podcasts that you own, whether they know that podcast is banging or not, it's going to look good on your end and it's going to look good on the podcast. Because they're going to be like, well, that podcast must be banging because she got on it. It goes hand in hand. Because at the end of the day, it's another avenue for you ladies to promote and sell yourself. Because you are the product. I don't give a fuck about whether you're selling a pussy or you selling pussy. Or you selling this DVD, or you a film dom, or what have you. You are the fucking product. So you need places to be able to put your shit. Oh, by the way, you ain't got to worry about it being taken down or deleted. What better than the podcast? I mean, I'm just giving you people logic. They're not going to take my podcast down. They're not going to delete the motherfucker. You can have your tits out, sucking on a fucking lollipop, drooling on your titty. They're not going to take the video down. Now, they will take it down if you stick a dildo in your pussy. No, we're not doing that. No coochie will be shown in the premium smoke room. We ain't that wild. You can show the dildo. You can't show what to do with the dildo. That's the difference. You get where I'm coming from? So, because it's still educational, everything that we're doing. Now, I know you're saying, how is tits educational? No, it's educational. Because it makes you pay attention to the conversation. And plus, if she's sitting there talking about if she had surgery or what have you. Yes, we had the conversation about getting your tits done. That's the point. Conversation. Something that people don't want to have in this world any damn more. A place where you can say your opinion, and guess what? We can have the conversation, and at the end of it, I don't look at you sideways. You don't look at me sideways. And you get to be 100% honest. And the fans, y'all get to hear 100% honesty from these porn stars and these people that you're going to be seeing on Tubi. You know, who knows, one day I might look up and get a rapper on here or a professional wrestler. Who knows? Because also my main goal is knowledge when it comes to adult film, to kill stigmatism and establish respect, and people understand these ladies and these gents deserve to be looked at as the stars that they are, and they're also human beings. You know how many married people is in porn? But yet it's still surprising that a woman is married that does porn. And her husband is not even in the business. And vice versa when it comes to a man. See, that's why I do this. That's why this podcast exists. So, it'll be nice if some of you people that are listening, please pay the $4.99 a month. Now, understand, the Smoke This Over Dark is a sporadic podcast. Premium Smoke Room, that's every Wednesday. Princess Havoc is twice a month. And the other two podcasts, they are weekly. So, and it's good content, yo. You know, I know Havoc, she brings people on we done had. With some people I done had on here in this Premium Smoke Room is special guests. Was Richard Mann, Paisley Hayes, Mr. Nuts, you know what I'm saying? Sarah J has been a part of the Premium Smoke Room. You know, Dallas Playhouse, shouts out to that sexy goddess. You know, Giselle Lane. Many top stars, man. So that's why I said it's kind of like, you know, shoot. You should check out the podcast. And like I said, I mean, also check me out on Twitter. You know, all the links is on the Spotify or it's going to be on the site. Oh, and I have the website. The link is also in the description also. Because my thing of it is that I'm going to be, upgrading slowly but surely. Y'all be seeing it. Trust me. And hopefully I have explained in this episode what is STO, the Smokers Lounge. STO stands for Smoke This Over. The Smokers Lounge is where I want you to smoke it over. Where I want to talk about the real shit. Even with the episodes that I do this on Thursdays, as I talk about serious shit. Yeah. I have my opinion on stuff from gun laws to the government to music to all that shit. Because it's not just about, even though, yes, I'm a sexual podcast, that don't mean I have to talk about sex all the time. Because, see, what people realize about podcasting is categories is definitely important. When I put down that the primary thing about my podcast is sexuality, that's where I'm at. So, I have to work with what is given to me. But the point being is, why I do the people from Tubi? Because one, out of respect for what they're doing. And two, to draw a different demographic to the podcast. So they can hear you porn stars discuss the business. Because the same people that would want to listen to these people on the podcast, some of these motherfuckers like watching porn. Some of these motherfuckers would be interested in hearing your story, or interested in hearing how to make money on OnlyFans, how to make money with some of these sites. What the fuck is dick ratings? And of course, pegging. I know y'all been saying, you must want to get pegged. No, I don't. No. Tongue is fine. You want to fuck me with your tongue and ass, by all means, baby girl. But you're not going to put on a strap-on, baby, and stick it in my ass. No. No. So either way, I hope I explained to you what is the Smokers Lounge. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. So I made this episode so if a female asks me ever again, what is your podcast? I can just send her this link. And that's all I have to do. I'm not even making a cover for the motherfucker. That's the funny part about it. It's just going to be the logo. Because I just explained to you what this podcast is. I've been doing this going into 3 years. And I have grown substantially from just doing audio to now video. From doing one episode a week to now practically having a network. Because the Premium Smoke Room technically is a network. Now I do drop a free episode from each podcast every now and then, except Premium Smoke Room. Go and check me out on YouTube. Smokers Lounge, STO, the Smokers Lounge. Check it out. Like I said, I want feedback. It'd be nice to have feedback. It's nice to hear people comment on my shit. Let me know if it's good or it's bad. If you think the episode was shitty, okay, hit me up and tell me it's shitty. I want to hear what my smokers are saying, what they think of the podcast, what they think of the guests. What have you. Because I do this for feedback. Like hearing what people think, how they feel, and how they look at the world and look at things. So, I done bored y'all to death. And now you know what the Smoking Lounge is. And This wasn't even the first carnation. The first carnation of my podcast, the first podcast was the Smoke This Over podcast. Smoke Lounge came because, well, I couldn't keep up with paying with Podbean. So I was going to add 2 podcasts anyway. Now I'm attached, a part owner of multiple podcasts. So that's why I tell people, I ain't even signed paperwork for the podcast. So I've had a great journey, and I'm going to continue the journey. Because no matter how tired I get, frustrated I get, I actually love podcasting. I love this shit. I love it. And that's facts. So, now, I'm about to go roll me another blunt, eat a taco, and rub on my wife's ass. Because she has a very nice booty. Which is funny. I never forget when I first met her. It was through the business. I was submitting her stuff to a producer. The producer was like, well, it's not like she all titty but no ass. So I had my wife with me. I said, well, dude said he don't think you got a booty. He said he think that, you got big tits, but you ain't got no booty. She was like, no, I got booty. And she sent a picture. Yeah, she got booty. Sent him the picture. She ended up shooting with him. So, with that tidbit said, life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over.